Hello, everybody.
Yo, what's going on?
Welcome to the Anime Mystics podcast. I'm Roman.
I'm Steven Sanosuke-sama.
Sorry. And we've got another guest.
Say hello.
Say hello.
Hello! Kimihako here.
Yeah, if you remember, she was our very first guest when we first decided to start doing that. We haven't had a guest since my one friend, but we decided to bring her back on and discuss some more anime.
Yeah. During these interesting times, we wanted to get some insight from how our friends over in Texas are looking and dealing with it. So we decided to go dig up Kimmy and bring her on and check in with her.
Yeah. It's a little difficult with all the toilet paper.
Well, I mean, it's kind of timely y'all reached out to me on all days of the day, because y'all haven't heard. Guess what Texas is doing?
What's Texas doing?
Opening up some retail and restaurant business, but only to 25% capacity. Our stay-at-home orders are expiring April 30th.
Oh, wow.
Oh, okay. So Texas thinks they've got it under control, kind of.
Yeehaw! We wrong.
Now, whatever they don't have under control, they can just shoot it.
They've got the guns.
They'll probably be outside the businesses, though.
Yeah, right. How do you feel about that? You think Texas is ready for this?
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
Was anyone ready for this? Last time we talked, I was like, yeah, there's been word circulating. Alright, nobody thinks that this is kind of weird, that this is like a whole thing happening in China? Alright, okay, fine, Pretty sure that, China's pretty populated. There's a lot of people that travel. It's not going to be contained, so nice, neatly, and tightly. And, and like great old US of A, when it came down to it, it's like, y'all seriously don't believe this. We're just meme culturing it.
Yeah, that's true.
That's basically how we're coping with this, is just through memes. And hopefully quarantine if you're able to stay at home. And if not, then you're on the front lines as essential personnel, which I was like, that's a really gaudy way of saying I'm in a shit stick of a situation.
What's funny is you actually brought up the interesting point, because you're right. America is the meme mecca, because not even like 24 hours after they thought Kim Jong-un was dead, there's all these memes. And they're all like, look at how cute his little sister is. And it's all like, y'all know that she's as genocidal and oppressive as he is, right? Like, if not worse.
Especially on certain days of the month.
Dude, man. She suffers from some resting bitch face. Oh my goodness. And it's like, it was like the turnaround. It wasn't even, and it's like, who reported this first? TMZ, a tabloid. And they're like, alright, fat fucker's dead, let's make memes. Like, what? No one's confirmed it, no one's corroborated it. But like Kimmy said, it's all like, we're a meme culture now, so start the meme machine.
Yeah, might as well.
Does anyone take anything seriously? And to be honest to you, it's like, in regards to this, y'all really gonna give, our future topic later, some old big pile of basket crap.
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Yep.
Throwing shade at y'all, because this is some real goofy stuff happening around here.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something real quick. I'm glad that you are throwing shade, because the last couple of podcasts, Roman and I have both been doing hot takes. I'm glad you've come on and are now throwing your own hot takes. The tradition is going to continue now.
I'm just saying, like, man, it's just been really wild here.
Yeah.
And, like, I'm trying to do what I can. Everyone's been trying to do what they can. This is some absurd times that we're dealing with. No one could have anticipated what we would be doing in 2020 as not seeing anyone.
Right.
So much for that clear vision of anything. And, like, if there was ever a time to be serious, I would say now is the time, because apparently, being a asymptomatic carrier could kill your grandma, could kill your best friend, could kill your friend, and you could be hunky-dory because you just lucked out on genetics or whatever luck test you got.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm just like, I know it's hard, y'all, but we just gotta stay in and do our part to save some lives and, like, not deluge our poor hospital systems with death, because unfortunately it's like it's also taking its toll on them.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is my whole soapbox. I think it's irresponsible of people to not be staying inside. If they actually have the liberty to do so. All these astroturfing campaigns, I'm just like, y'all, what are y'all doing?
And all these people protesting, let us go back to work. Like,
In all this age of information, you can look up on YouTube and get someone to cut your hair or cut your own hair or do something your own selves. You know, that good old mantra of pulling yourself up out of bootstraps. I don't know, but all this is nonsense.
Yeah. No, I feel you. My position, doing what I do, I didn't really have much of a choice. And before this really kicked off into full gear to the level that it's at, they actually came to us and said, given the nature of our work, we didn't have a choice. We have to come in. You know, they were like, if someone in your family gets sick and you got to take care of them, that's fine. Take care of them. But it's not an excuse because you're worried or you're paranoid. You got to come in because essentially we're the ones that are helping the sick and the hungry. So we don't have a choice. We got to still come to work. And I'm like, I get it. I understand it. So, you know. But yeah, no, if you can avoid it and help stop the spread, why not? And, you know, granted, we don't know everyone. We can't speak for everyone because everyone's situation is different. So that's why I stress, if you can, you know, definitely stay inside and stay safe. But obviously not everyone has or can, and, you know, you do what you got to do. But, you know, everyone should definitely be aware and be conscious of what they're doing. And, you know, if this is something that you might not know, you got it, or what you're doing, so be careful. And yeah.
As I've told my grandmother, if I could stay at home all day, I would.
Right.
But I gotta go shopping.
Right. Man. Oh, man.
It's like that meme with Lord of the Rings with Aragorn for Grandma, and he's running towards Walmart with his sword.
Oh, jeez.
That's me. That's me right now, literally.
How is the virus done with all your, like, conventions and stuff down south? Are they still running?
The only one I'm aware of that's still on is Dragon Con.
Oh boy, that's Atlanta, right?
Atlanta Labor Day. And then there have been, I think, maybe one other convention that rescheduled itself to Labor Day weekend. And I'm like, I don't think, personally, this will die down, especially if, like, states like Texas are trying to reopen. There's probably what I anticipate a second wave, because once you let the door open a little, people are going to, like, wedge them entire selves into it. And I mean, I've heard that there's reports of people, you know, being very casual about hanging out from Chipotle without the distancing consideration. And I'm like, y'all are really wild out here. Y'all know that? Because, like, this thing sneaks up on you and, like, it hits your respiratory system to the point that, you know, what's living? It feels awful from what every single report I've heard. And recently I got shared someone's hospital bill for being in the hospital for over a month.
Oof.
And let me tell you, that bill is more than my mortgage.
Oh, goodness.
And I was like, wow.
What's so funny is you just mentioned that people are hanging out in front of Chipotle and getting sick, and I'm all like, Chipotle is one of the worst places to do that because they already have a history of getting people sick. You know, how many more E. coli outbreaks is Chipotle going to give us? Now they're going to give us the virus and E. coli. Beautiful.
Two for
If
one.
only you could see me shrug over here, man.
Yeah. Oh, Chipotle can't catch a break. All right, guys, we finally got rid of E. coli. Here comes the virus. Don't!
I'll catch them all.
Right?
All the sicknesses.
Right? Just like a bingo board. Just checking them all off. Oh, man. Oh, man. That's funny. I mean, that's sad, but it's still funny.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
New queso, we got that new virus.
That's, would you like a side of virus with your burrito? Anyways.
Yes, please.
No. But yeah, no, Roman and I were definitely talking. Roman's actually gone back to work this week.
I actually went back last week.
So.
But it's like, we were only staying until FedEx shows up to pick up the packages.
Okay.
And then we leave. But they don't show up till 4. So I get at least 7 hours a day.
That's not bad.
So I'm not going to complain.
Yeah, that's pretty good. That's pretty good.
And there's only 3 people there other than my boss. So it's not like we're that close to each other.
Yeah.
We're still social distancing at work.
And you got masks on?
My boss and one of them does. One other guy does. Me and another guy don't.
Okay.
But we're constantly washing our hands, and we got a bunch of hand sanitizer and stuff like that at the office. So I think we're good.
Cool. All right. Enough depression talk.
Yes.
Ready to talk anime?
I mean, that's how I've been coping.
Good answer.
Nice.
All right. So the first anime we're going to talk about is My Life as a Villainess. And I know that Kimmy has not been watching this. So, Kimmy, I want you to check this out because we're going to try to sell you on this show, okay?
Okay.
You may enjoy it. Who knows?
So,
Take care of me. Oh, senpai.
Hi, so this. So yes, to start off with, I read the first volume. So now officially, the first 4 episodes covered the entire first volume of the manga.
Okay.
That I bought, and I know that they're on volume 3 now. So I'm behind. At the time I was caught up though, but now the anime is caught up to volume 1 of the manga, and I have to. They kind of went a little bit further than where I left off because the manga, the first volume, didn't cover the main heroine of the game.
Oh no.
And so let me back up even further. Let me fill in Kimmy real quick. So essentially,
let's tell her what this is all about.
Yeah. My Life as a Villainess. It takes place in the world of a medieval fantasy otome game, and it's like a visual novel, and you basically, you read the story, you make a choice, and then depending on the choices you make, you go down a different story path. So you know how like visual novel games work, right?
Yep.
Okay, so it's one of those, and there's like 4 or 5. You play as a female, and you're trying to. There's like 4 or 5 dudes that you are love interests.
Right.
And so the main character, she gets isekai'd by Truck-kun. And she actually inhabits the body of one of the main rivals, who is a Mondo bitch.
Yeah.
In the normal game, she's like one of the rival characters, but she's also just nasty.
She's basically the main rival.
Yeah. Because she's the rival in like 2 of the storylines? At least 2 of the storylines.
I believe in the first episode she mentioned that she either dies or gets exiled in every route.
Well, not the other 3. Because the other ones all have... The other 2 have different love interests. They have different girls. And then the last one is Siscon.
Yeah, but they all still end up trying to be with the one girl.
Oh, the dudes do, yeah.
Yeah, Maria.
But Katarina, she doesn't die or get jacked up in the other 3 routes. Because the other 3 routes just have their own.
I'm pretty sure... I don't think it would be called All Routes Lead to Doom if the other 3 routes didn't matter to her.
All right, I'm gonna go with what Roman said. But yeah, so in order to when the whole thing starts, she wasn't aware that she was in the body of the main rival, the bad guy, and she takes a bump. And then that kind of knocks her up out of it. And then she realizes that she got isekai'd. And then she realizes that she's in the world of the Otome game. And so, like Roman said, because she has terrible ends, and the main character wins. And when the main character wins, the main heroine wins, it usually ends up not being so well for the character Katarina.
Yeah, which is her.
Which is who she is right now. She got isekai'd into the main villain. And so, the twist is that I don't think we've gotten her real life name. So they just call her Katarina, just like Tanya. We don't know what Tanya's name was originally, so it's just Tanya. So Katarina, originally in the real world, in the modern day, was actually this giant, softy, just moe blob girl who just, she loved everybody and was kind of a dork.
An otaku kind of as well.
Yeah. And she loved the Otome games. She, had friends. She was a Fujoshi. And how much I love Fujoshis. And so when she realizes that she's, a bad character, a bad guy, and this bad guy is kind of nasty, she's all like, well, I don't want to die, so let me go and rewrite history. So she goes and formulates all these plans on how not to die. And because she's still young, she's still a child right now, she's all like, I have time before the game takes place, and I have to worry about getting offed and all these different ends or all these different endings or all these different paths. So, like Roman said, on one route, she's all like, I get stabbed, so let me learn how to use a sword and then I can fight back. And another one, she gets blasted by magic. So she's all like, let me learn how to use magic so that I can deal with it better. And another one, like Roman said, she gets exiled. So she's all like, if I get kicked out, let me learn a skill so that I can take care of myself. So she learns farming.
Yeah, she learns how to farm. She figured it would help with her magic because she has earth magic.
This is some serious Groundhog's Day happening.
Correct. It's actually a really good summary.
Okay, because I'm like, so if this path doesn't work, you open up a different path over here, and how does this all reset again?
So it's all, we don't know what path is going to happen because Katarina's intervention, because she altered the path that Katarina originally took, it's kind of like a brand new original story. All the way to the point where Katarina is now doing particular events that the other characters were doing amongst themselves without Katarina's intervention. So she's saying lines or saying dialogue that other characters said to each other. So one of the dudes said to another love interest a line, and instead Katarina said it to the love interest, so now the dude never said it to that love interest.
That's a little wrong. He does say it, but she didn't care too much because Katarina had already said it to her.
There you go. So it didn't have any impact. Yeah, exactly. So,
Snap.
Yeah, good.
No, I was just like, well, how about that? Someone's already done it.
Right, yeah. And
then he comes to confront her.
Yeah, you saw this week's episode, right?
I did.
Okay, so you're caught up. Okay. Yeah. And so that's kind of the gist of it. And so what was that game? It was Mystic Messenger, I think, came out a couple of years ago. I don't know. Did you guys do or participate in that over there where you were at? Mystic Messenger?
I only saw my peers thirst.
Right?
Also after, I think, Dream Daddies?
That's another one, yeah. Yeah. That's an American made one, because wasn't that was made in cooperation with like Game Grumps or somebody, I want to say. I don't know.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
I remember hearing about that one.
Because I think one of them did a voice, I think. But it's all in the same boat though. So it's like those. Otome games here in the States have really gotten popular and all that because visual novels have been a thing for a long ass time. Especially like, the Fate, those probably the most mainstream or widely known ones.
Right.
But the Otome game genre has also been picking up steam a lot too, and now you can pick them up from Kinokuniya, you can pick them up from J-List, you can pick them up almost anywhere except like GameStop, but give them a minute and GameStop will get desperate enough.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Otome game genre has been picking up steam, and it's huge over there in Japan.
I
I would say that Otome games, and I could be wrong, but I think Otome games are probably second behind H games. Or no, I'm sorry, second behind visual novel. So I think it would go like visual novel, Otome game, then H game.
Maybe.
And there are H Otome games too, so.
Oh yeah, I figured there would be.
Of course.
So, and that's the other thing too. A lot of these visual novels and Otome games, they actually do get ported over to console. So in this case, what was it? It's Princess Lover, right?
Oh god.
Keep forgetting the name of her game. But yeah, her game, she actually was playing it on PS4. So it's the genre is so huge that they do console ports, and even they will port H games. So like my not my Otome, Koihime Muso, what I have here on my wall, that was actually an H game. That was an H visual novel, and they ported it over to PS2 and just took out all the H scenes. Lame.
Fortune lover.
Fortune
But here
lover.
I am, connoisseur Rebecci being like, more lewd, please.
Yeah.
Unless we're going to lolly, then please, no lewd.
Yeah. I'm awful at those games. I always get the generic ending, so because to get some of these routes or go particular paths, you always have to pick like the most obscure options, and it's like I just can't do it. I vote with my conscience, and I'm like, it's all like be a jerk to the girl. I can't do that, so I'm going to be nice. And then it's like, oh, you have to be a jerk because that's the only way she's going to get shaken out of her apathy. And it's like, oh, well, how do you expect me to know that? Come on. Like, geez, come on. So,
Give me
yeah.
a break, says Steven.
Right?
I feel bad when I'm mean to an NPC in a
Get the
RPG,
nice
so-
guy a break.
Right? I'm with Roman. I feel bad when I'm nice to an NPC.
Mean.
Yeah.
Oh, you have so much empathy in your heart, Steven.
Yeah,
I couldn't tell with all the shit posting you do.
yeah. I'm a giant wuss on the inside.
Ball.
The memes and the posting are all covers. It's a smokescreen.
Alright, that's how you cope. Got it.
Yeah.
You're part of that group.
Yeah. So, but yeah. So it's an interesting take, and it's, we've seen it happen with ReZero is basically Dark Souls, and Konosuba is basically just medieval fantasy. And so this one actually taking place in an Otome game, it's a different setting. It's a different setting completely. But when I first was hearing about it, I thought that it was going to be like the evil chick was going to still be evil. She was just going to still try to win while still being kind of a dick. That's what I originally thought was going to happen.
You also expected no Joe-sama.
I did. I was expecting an Joe-sama. She kind of is. She
doesn't do the laugh.
She doesn't do the laugh. But
But other than that, yeah, she could still be considered one, I guess.
yeah. And in regards to you, Kimmy, I think that you would actually appreciate Katarina too, because Katarina loves food. She will never let a food go to waste.
Oh my god, she eats stuff off the floor.
Yeah. So what's funny is in the scene that just happened, and I think I was talking to Roman about this before. In the back of Volume 1 of the the English released manga, they actually have an excerpt of the light novel, and in the light novel, that scene actually played out where Katarina smacked. It's Maria, right? Maria's the main character.
Yeah.
Maria is the heroine's name. She smacked Maria's muffins onto the floor, and at the time, the girl that's Katarina was only in her head, and she's just watching as Katarina does this, but she has no control over Katarina's body. So she's just like saying like, stop, what are you doing? Those muffins are delicious. You shouldn't be. And then Katarina in the visual novel, or in the light novel, started stepping and smashing the muffins, and she's like, why would you do that? Those muffins are delicious. I don't want to step on them. I want to eat them. And so, you saw that scene play out in the most recent episode, and instead, in this instance, though, originally in the game, one of the love interests, he's the one that stops the bullying. Basically, he jumps out the cuts, and he's just like, "Hey, you girls, stop picking on her." But in the new reality, Katarina's the one who jumps in, and she runs interference, and like Roman said, instead of stomping on the muffins, she just eats them. And so she's just cramming them into her mouth, and Maria's just like, yo, are you serious? And she's just all like, I
They're
didn't...
just in the grass. They're not that dirty.
Yeah.
And she ate them all.
Yeah.
Like, all of them. She had a basket full, and she ate every single one of them.
Eat the documas. So, yeah. It's just a little grassy. It's still good.
5-second roll, right?
Yeah, she even uses that once. I remember that in the anime. She used that once.
I don't know if they said it in the anime, but I think it was in the manga too, or before she went to the Magic Academy, her mom was telling her about all the things, and she said, "Don't eat stuff off the floor. Don't eat, and don't use the 5-second rule. Is not a valid excuse."
Yeah,
yeah.
I remember mentioning that in my reaction. I was like, "Didn't your mom tell you not to eat that stuff off the floor?"
You can't tell me what to do. I am my own woman.
Yeah. Yeah, it's one of the running gags is the mom is always disciplining her. She's like, stop being such a little punk. But yeah. So yeah. And she's always like that. She was when she was still a kid, she's at like all the parties. So she's eating all the cupcakes and the cakes. She's still like, well, if I don't eat them, they're just going to throw them away. So I'm just going to cram my face right now.
Basically, yeah.
So. But yeah. And yeah, they covered all the tropes too. It was like all the dudes. It's like there's the playboy, there's the quiet one, there's the whatchamacallit,
sadistic one who's kind of acts nice.
Yeah, the popular one.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's the other one? The competitive one. Yeah. They're
all there.
They're all there. They're all there. So, yeah. Yeah.
Is there a tsundere?
Not yet. Give it a minute. That's the other thing too, is that she altered the reality because she, in the normal game, Katarina was the fiancé of one of the love interests. And in this timeline, now she's just like, we don't have to be engaged anymore. You can go marry someone else. And the dude's all like, no, but now I legitimately do love you. And she's like, no, it's cool. Seriously, it's okay. Go love someone else. She's like, well, she's like, if she stays attached to him, she's paranoid that it's going to end up with her getting shanked.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, he stabs her.
Yeah.
Way too much murder investigation.
So she's doing everything she can to avoid these outcomes.
Right.
Even if that means, go away now. You can marry whoever you want. But, he's just like, no, it's cool, right? I still want to marry you. So.
Yeah. She did such a good job that she's convinced him and all the other dudes that she's a good mate.
Yeah.
Even some of the ladies too. They all don't want to let her go either.
Yeah. I wouldn't
Impressive.
even call this like a reverse harem kind of thing. I just call it a straight up harem because
yeah.
she's got the girls and the guys.
Yeah.
Basically after her.
In a minute, it's about to be Maria in there too. It's just like, wow. I didn't. That was the hidden ending in the Otome game was the Yuri route. All right.
Yeah. The best route.
The best. Jeez. You heard it, Kimmy. The best route is Yuri route. So.
Absolutely.
So let me ask. So now we're on the subject of Otome games. What do you personally think about them?
I have no opinion.
No.
I mean, I don't really play them like that, so.
What would it take for you to play an Otome game? Like character design or story or what?
This kind of follows the same trope of me and games. Me actually sitting my butt down and focusing. So recently I finally 100%ed Spider-Man.
Mm-hmm.
This is a game file I've been working on for since 2018 apparently.
Mm-hmm.
And in my mind I was like, I'm done with this. And then I was like, you know what? My backlog is going so slow, I still haven't finished Nier, and I've forgotten everything about it. And for the 4th or 5th time, I'm going to probably start over from the beginning.
Doof.
No, don't feel bad. I still haven't finished Nier either.
So, with the Otome game, well, I probably need to start installing it on my phone because if I'm on my phone playing games, it probably just means I'm trying to burn some time just for the sake of it.
Sure. Yeah, it's like, I think the most visual novel game that I've gotten close to playing and thoroughly enjoying is probably Ace Attorney. That one came out the cuts, and I couldn't exactly tell you why. I think it's because everything is pretty good, especially with like the first game and the first trilogy. Like the music was good, the characters were good, the story was good, and I think another part of it too, why it found so much success here in the States, was because of the translation. I think that whoever did that translation with the names and the jokes and all of that, they did a damn good job. And I think that the guys also that were doing it, they had previous knowledge. They've had to have had some sort of knowledge to it, because the game in Japan, in Japanese, in native Japanese, actually had jokes and gags. Like, Phoenix Wright's name was Naruhodo, which translates to, now I see, or now I understand, like, Naruhodo, I see. And that's what he's trying to always do. He's always trying to find out the truth. He's always trying to make the discovery. So, even his name was a gag. So, the translation team here in English or in USA, they saw that and you're like, you know what, guys? Let's just make it a joke. And so, they have an old lady character, and I don't know her Japanese name, but they translated her name into English as Windy Oldbag. Windy, like, talks too much, old bag. Like, this windy old bag won't shut up. So, and sorry, it's stuff like that. Yeah. And so there was a dude in I think in Apollo Justice, I think in the fourth game, he looked like a raccoon, like a tanuki. And so his last name was Taki, and his first name was Walkie Talkie. Walkie Talkie and stuff like that. They had another dude in episode 5 or in the 5th game, and his name was Det, and his last name was Tonate. Det Tonate, and he was a bomb expert for the police.
Wow.
So yeah, yeah. And then of course one of the longest characters in the game, the detective guy, his name is literally Detective Dick Gumshoe. All of those are names for detectives.
What?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
I had no idea.
Like a Dick, Dick Tracy, Dick,
Well,
who's a detective.
I know about that one, but the Gumshoe one,
Gumshoe.
eludes me.
Yeah. All three are names for that. So, and that's why it's kind of like, I think that's why Ace Attorney found success. Like, you're just like, huh. But then it was backed up by an engaging story and good characters. So, that's why it just kind of took off. And now they're like 8 games in?
Wow.
Yeah, maybe, 9. Because there was 2 great Ace Attorney games. We didn't get those. And then the spin-off with Layton. So, those were 3 games. And then there's 6 mainline games. So, yeah. Yeah.
So, this is me exposing my ignorance.
Expose
So,
away.
is Ace Attorney series, like, qualify as an Otome game?
It's not an Otome game. It's a visual novel, though, for sure.
Visual novel. Okay,
Yeah.
thank you. I was like, Otome games are geared towards women, right? Like,
Yeah.
you're trying to, like, hook up with all the dudes.
Correct.
Right.
Maybe that's the thing, is, like, I don't have an interest in that.
Yeah.
And even as a, like, youngster, for a small momentary little bit of my adolescence, I was into the awkward stage of yaoi pairing, and then that was like a couple years, and then I was like, alright, I'm out, I'm done with fanfiction. And from there I was like, alright, I like to like engage in real life. And then, alright, you know what, 2D men, but 2D women,
Me
And I was
too.
Same.
We're all 3 are on the same page. This is a rare moment.
I know, right?
But yeah, no, I agree. I agree with you. Same thing. So it's like the genre of dating sim too. I mean, there haven't been too many translated here, into English or put on like PlayStation. Even though like back in the day on PlayStation 1 there was like Thousand Arms.
That was a
dating
dating
sim.
sim?
Yeah.
sounds like it should be a mech game.
It kind of was. It was an RPG. It was turn-based RPG. But the waifu that you had with you determined your skills and abilities and whatnot.
Oh.
Atlas put it out, actually. Yeah.
Okay. Well.
Yeah.
There we go. Learn
So-
something new.
Yeah, there haven't been too many, and now, like I said, they're actually doing it because I think one of the companies like translates like H games and whatnot. But so there is a market for it, but you just don't hear about it too much. Oh, and then the other like visual novel style game is Danganronpa.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously that, and 999 as well. 999 also is like, they're all like that, but it's kind of like Ace Attorney is the gateway drug to Danganronpa, and then 999, because it's like Danganronpa especially is very very Ace Attorney-esque. It's just way more in your face about it, because it's basically like battle royale.
Nice.
So it's the same concept where there's a murder, you have to investigate what the murder is, but they have no qualms about it being brutal and showing the effects on somebody, on everybody else that's in there. So yeah. And what's scary is that when like we were at one of the at SAC Anime, these like teenagers were all cosplaying Danganronpa, and my friend and I are looking at them like, how old are you? They're like, yeah, we're cosplaying Danganronpa. It's something new. It's getting really popular. It's like, not only is this thing like 10 years old, you're way too young for this.
You know, that's kind of how I felt when there was a group of under 15 teenagers cosplayed Tokyo Ghoul, and I was like,
Oh boy.
I haven't watched the series, but I have heard it is pretty graphic.
Well, I mean, people get eaten, so. But that also happens in Attack on Titan, so.
Which is something all the kids
It's
also.
nothing new. I'm
Yeah,
sure if
maybe
these
we're
kids
just all
could
into
do it,
more.
they'd eat their parents. So. Bunch of cannibals.
Attack on Titan, not a otome game or visual novel.
No, definitely not.
You'd be dating.
Yeah.
There's a lot of Titans.
You know, we have our friend Brianna. I keep tagging her in Villainess because she actually plays otome games, like legit. She actually is all about this life, about this otome game life. And so, I'm all like, I hate to say it, but we have a qualified expert on otome games in our midst. So it's all like, I'm gonna have to pick her brain and be like, all right, what's the appeal? Explain it to me. And yeah, and yeah, the multiple paths, I guess, too, because Fate Stay Night had multiple endings. Ace Attorney does not have multiple endings.
It's just straightforward.
Yeah, Ace Attorney only has one ending, which is why I said it's like you can't really, you know,
Mess anything up.
once you play it, you beat it once and then you're done, which is unfortunate, but it's still a crazy, wild ride the whole time. So, yeah. But, yeah. Otome games are wild, man.
I think the first dating
Man, I'm
sim
still trying
game-
to sit here, and I'm like, sitting here, playing through Simulate a bunch of dating event, and I'm like, I don't know, maybe the reason why I haven't been gravitated to them is because they're like boy men, and I'll be real, like, my preference in dudes is not boy men. But maybe, you know what, I'm being closed-minded here. I'm not giving this an open shot. If you can find me some sturdy dudes as optional romances, I'll give it a shot. That's my stipulation.
So you want a Bara Otome game?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm sure it's out there. I'm sure it exists. I
Gotta
wouldn't
be.
be surprised. I would absolutely not be surprised. But
Gotta be.
all right, challenge accepted. So anybody that hears this, you go follow Kimmy. Give her all your suggestions for Bara Otome games, Bara men Otome games. And you know what? To further expand on that, I bet there's even two options. There are Otome games where, like you said, there's the girly looking dudes, and then one or two of them are like Bara as hell. And then there's probably one or two actual Otome games where the entire like cast, all your options are all Bara as hell. I'll bet you it's out there.
I mean, it has to be. You can dream it and make it happen, right?
Yeah. Especially in
I
anime.
think it's a very important role in the internet.
Yeah.
What is this? I have no idea what this is.
Bara is like the big buff dudes. So
Machio.
like Machio, there you go. Machio, Iskandar from Fate.
Okay.
Those kinds.
Gotcha.
Usually
Spartacus.
yeah. So the older muscular types.
Gotcha. Okay. Learned something else today.
Yeah.
But it's also a colloquialism used to refer to a genre of Japanese comic art and media known within Japan as gay manga or gay komi.
Yes.
This genre focuses on male same-sex love, as created primarily by gay men for a gay male audience. Well, I'm not a gay man, but I will happily consume this.
There you go. There you go. Yeah, and yeah. So okay, now we're on the hunt. So yeah, when I talk about Katarina in Villainess, I call her Fujoshi, but I also want to clarify. I use that term loosely. She hasn't exactly talked about yaoi pairings like that, but she does have this huge interest in romance novels and everything, which is another trope of Fujoshis. They're always head deep into romance novels, romance manga, romance anime, all of that. So, being swept off their feet and whatnot. So, I say Fujoshi, but I mean that loosely.
Noted.
And then she had a best friend that she also projects onto one of the other girls in there. And I'm like, oh, and she also was all into romance and all that. I'm like, oh, she has a Fujoshi friend. Amazing. So, yeah.
So are you still trying to sell me on this? Because I'm sold. I'll get it off this week, man.
Yeah, no, I'm ready to just ask. I don't know. I'm gonna ask your closing thoughts, and then if Roman has anything else to add on, I think we've had a very healthy conversation. And yeah, they're only on episode 4. They're on episode 4, so it's still early to catch up.
Yeah, well, it has aired episode 4. Okay, yeah. I thought this week was 3, but that was Kaguya.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry. Okay, go ahead.
Go for it, Kimmy. What you think?
I'm down for the cause. I'm gonna make time on my schedule and watch it as a treat to myself for getting all this quarantine work done.
Treat yourself.
Right.
More anime, please.
You should watch it with a basket of muffins. All right.
My roommate did cook muffins.
Oh, really?
Oh, nice.
She's a great chef. Y'all two would bond really well on recipes.
Oh, yeah. Interesting. Yeah, actually, I did a lot of cooking yesterday. I took pictures. I haven't put them on social media yet, but yeah, I was in the kitchen almost all day yesterday. It sucked because it was so hot. It just sucked.
Isn't that bad today?
No, it cooled down dramatically. But the Mother Nature took mercy on me.
The day after you cooked.
All right. All right. Roman already dropped a hint, though. So we're going to talk about Kaguya real quick.
Right.
So Roman, you're caught up, right?
I am caught up.
So I'm going to ask you, Roman, was that not Spin Me Right Round, or was that not in the background music?
I'm going to be honest. I didn't really pay too much attention
to
the
my
music.
Dude, so when...
I might have been too busy laughing. So.
I mean, I was dying. I was like, what? So I was an episode behind, so I got caught up. But when she was trying to hide that she knew when Shirogane's birthday was, I was like, are you serious? And then they started playing Spin Me Round, and I was like, wait, what? And so they altered it just enough that I think they could squeak by copyright. But after the episode was done, I looked it up, I Googled it, I was like, Kaguya, and some people actually have reported saying that, yo, wasn't that it? And one of the dudes is like, you know what, I'm going to wait for the soundtrack to come out, and then I'm going to look for that song, and be like, what did you call it? What did you call this background song? And I'm like, dude, I'm telling you. But like I said, they changed it just enough that they were able to escape YouTube's copyright law.
I'll have to go back and listen.
Yeah, it was that whole segment when Chika got mad at Ishigami, or no, at Miyuki for his birthday, for not telling her it was his birthday.
And only telling Kaguya.
Only telling Kaguya. Even though she kind of usurped her way into his daily planner. She knew about his birthday since season 1.
Yeah. She's been waiting since then. planning a big wedding cake to make?
I felt so bad because they were like, Hayasaka has to eat it all. And then Hayasaka ate more of the cake than she did. So,
Hayasaka. She puts up with so much from her.
So, this past Friday, and Roman couldn't make it, but I'm just going to summarize it. So, Roman, we saw the live action movie. We actually had a Discord viewing party. And so I set up my laptop, I turned on Discord, I invited some of the homies, and we watched collectively the live-action Kaguya-Sama movie. And it effectively took the entire first season, and then it kind of delved into where they were talking about the end of the student council, and then where Miyuki reapplied to be the student council president.
Right.
But I don't know if we're going to eventually get to it, but they did, they expanded on that part a bit more. That could have been a movie exclusive thing, but they actually had like elections for the student council, and they made a whole big thing out of that. But the movie was actually almost scene for scene replicating what was in season 1 of the anime. So I don't know how accurate it is going as far back as the manga. I couldn't tell you, but from the live action movie to the anime, it was pretty good. It was pretty damn accurate. If I was to make one knock on it, it's that Hayasaka did not go gal mode.
No?
No.
She was straight.
She was straight faced. Yeah, straight faced the whole time. I was a little salty about that.
Gal mode is the best mode.
Right? When she's running interference?
Yeah.
She destroyed the ball. She popped the dude's ball. With her early detection, her early warning detection bangle or scrunchie.
Yeah.
Hayasaka, best super spy. Yeah, that was my only gripe with the movie, honestly. Other than that, I actually had a general statement that most of these live-action movies have actually been pretty consistent. Like, the Ace Attorney live-action movie was good. The Kenshin live-action movie was good. The JoJo live-action movie was pretty good. And then this one was pretty good. So, I want to say the secret to making a good live-action anime movie is just don't use Netflix. Like, as long as you don't take the Netflix money, you can make a good live-action anime movie. And as long as we do that, I think we'll be okay. We'll be okay.
Unless you're Dragon Ball Evolution, then you have no excuse.
Well, that kind of came out at a point where Netflix wasn't really into streaming and not as like a multi-billion-dollar organization like they are now. But you are correct. That's
I know the guy who wrote it said he only did it for the money.
For real?
He didn't really care. He just did it for the money.
Do you know what else he's written?
No.
Okay.
Probably nothing.
Probably not that. Took the money and ran. He's all like, I'm done. I'm retired. Just got this paycheck. I'm out. Man, that sucks. Yeah, and that's what I was thinking too, because you think about it, there's like Death Note live action, which... But then like, the same thing too though, is that even when they tried to do a Japanese-centered take, Netflix paid for Bleach. Kimmy, did you watch the live action Bleach?
I did.
What'd you think?
I enjoyed it.
Yeah? You thought it was pretty good?
Yeah, I thought it was a real solid watch, and if like just the way that it covered, it was literally season 1, and I was quite happy with that because I was like, all right, there are no like if, ands, what ifs about this. This does it. Pretty good adaptation of it. Visuals were pretty expected. They were better than I anticipated, so I'll take it. And yeah, I like the actor for Ichigo, and I mean,
Was it
I
Johnny
didn't
Young Bosch?
trip out, but I am tripping out about the Bleach coming back to anime.
Oh yeah. We'll get to Bleach coming back because I know we're chomping at the bit to talk about that. I was just kind of coming into this realization that when they put the effort into like the anime live actions, they can make them succeed. It's just that they have live action, even like video game based movies, they always have that stigma that it's just going to be ass because they just can't incorporate everything. And it's all like, you don't really need to incorporate everything as long as you kind of hit the key moments. And the things that you do sacrifice aren't integral or super important, then I think that you can make it successful.
Yeah.
So
just don't take out anything important.
Right. And I know that I tagged Roman in the Chin Chin scene.
Yeah.
So that's proof that they can really do it or translate from the anime to live action if they so choose. It's possible. So, yeah, hopefully they have a string of wins and they keep up the victories and we get less Attack on Titans.
Yeah. Because I heard those are horrible.
How many did they make? They made 2?
They made 2.
2, okay.
Yeah.
I saw Zoe with a rocket launcher and I was like, I like Zoe, but why? Why does she have a rocket? What's going on?
There are too many live-action anime movies I've watched. I saw the first Kenshin movie.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't seen the second or third one.
Now's the time to catch up because they're about to do 4.
Yeah.
They're about to do that Kyoto arc.
Really?
Yeah, they're about to do the Kyoto arc. And then I don't know if they're going to do 2 movies or 1 movie and just do Kyoto and Inishi. But Inishi is going to be in there. They've already casted and put pictures up of live-action Inishi. So yeah, so it's coming. I can't tell you. The logical thing would be to make 2. Would be to make the Kyoto, because that was 4 OVAs, to do that as its own standalone movie, and then end it with the Inishi arc, because that was its own arc in the manga. So I would say they should make it, but I don't know what's their money looking like and whatnot, so I can't. I don't know what's going to happen.
Right.
I would hope they wouldn't cram it all into 1 movie, but yeah, we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
I am excited. I am hype. Yeah. They also said that they're bringing back the dude that did Saito, so I was like, all right, let's go. I'm sold. I'm ready. My body is Reggie. But yeah, so like I said, there is an opportunity with live actions. The Kaguya was really good, and then on top of that too, there was that scene where Shirogane and Kaguya went to the movies, and then the lady that was ringing up Kaguya, she was giving her ticket. That was the Japanese voice actress for Kaguya in the anime. So it was the live action actress for Kaguya with the voice actress for Kaguya, and it was some meta going on right there. So I don't think they got Furukawa Makoto, the voice actor for Miyuki, to come in, but he might have been too expensive. Who knows?
No Saitama?
No Saitama.
Wow.
Sorry. Too expensive.
Couldn't one punch his way into this?
No. That's yeah.
Well, none of them will ever top the Fist of the North Star 80s live action movie.
Did they change his name to Jaguar from Jaggy?
I think it was still Jaggy.
Still Jaggy?
I think it was still Jaggy.
Okay. I never saw it. I heard it used to be on local TV on like Saturday nights. They used to air it, but
that's where I saw it.
Wow.
It stops with I think Shin?
Yeah.
It stops with Shin.
Yeah. The first arc, basically.
Yeah.
Ugh.
I don't even think we get to see Rao.
No, Rao!
Yeah.
What a jip!
And I think Jaggy worked for Shin.
What?
Yeah.
You're dead to me. You're absolutely dead to me. Oh. Kimmy, Roman just ruined my whole night.
I'm sure you'll be able to find some meme to bring it back together.
I'll find you my Fist of the North Star meme to help.
Got you a new one.
Yeah.
So let me get back on subject real quick. Now I'm getting over my depression. So Kimmy, have you seen Kaguya-Sama?
No.
Do you know of the gist of it?
Yes.
Okay.
It's Death Note.
Love.
I've never heard someone describe it like that.
You haven't?
No, you're not wrong. But
that's how I've always heard it described as. It's a rom-com, but with Death Note elements. With the planning and everything they all go through.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's how I've always heard it described to me.
I mean, if I was to say, I would say it's kind of like giving me Yu-Gi-Oh vibes, you know? Like, I trap your trap and counter your trap with my trap to trap your trap card, basically. But
It's kind of the same with Death Note.
yeah,
L and Light going back and forth with their plans.
I don't know how I feel though about second season kind of making Kaguya kind of dumb, because she wasn't this dumb in the first season. She was completely capable. She like could go toe to toe even without Hayasaka running interference. And now she's just kind of losing it.
I think she's getting to the point where she just wants him to say it like so bad that it's just interfering with her brain.
Man.
I mean, she had an internal dialogue with 3 versions of herself in episode 2.
Le tits now.
Oh, that meme.
That post is up to over 30 likes now. You guys really like Le tits now. So, Kimmy, to put it in perspective, that post was what Roman's talking about. It was an inner conversation with Kaguya where she was having it with, they call it Ice Queen Kaguya and then Dumb Kaguya. So,
And the judge was Child Kaguya.
yeah. And it's just pretty much her just having a dialogue. And apparently they complained about that scene. Because in that part in the manga, Ice Kaguya apparently admitted flat out that Kaguya wants Miyuki's D.
Oh, yeah?
And they said they cut that out for the anime. And I'm like, well, damn, I wonder why.
Yeah.
It's probably not TV appropriate. I mean, we all know it, but you can't just say it. It's a romantic comedy, man. You got to keep some hidden, some innuendo.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Tell that to interspecies reviewers.
I love that show. I miss it. I miss it so much.
I mean, you knew what you were getting with
Of
that
course
show.
you
so
do.
I still have to watch it.
Yes, you do. Make sure it's unedited.
Well, I am getting the
Blu-ray.
first Blu-ray with the, was it Aloe?
Aloe.
With the Aloe figure.
Yeah.
Whenever that decides to come out. Please open up
Mushrooms
your borders again,
ruined me,
Japan.
man.
Mushrooms. Yeah, no, everything coming out of Japan is delayed. I still have Nendoroids that they said they shipped. Who knows where they're at? Tracking's given up.
I got Tariba stuff that should be on the way. It's just stuck there.
Yeah.
And iCatch.
F. Rip.
I have like 40 items from iCatch that need to be shipped out here.
Damn it, Corona.
It's a couple things I think you would like to.
Oh, interesting. It's good stuff. Good times.
Yeah.
But yeah. Yeah. Kimmy,
I'm here
you like mushrooms?
with like context,
Oh,
I
interspecies
absolutely
Monster Girl
love
reviewers.
mushrooms.
Monster Girl
but I'm
reviewers.
still going to yell at you.
So I told Kimmy that when she gets to that scene, mushrooms will be forever ruined. And she had no idea at the time. And then she comes back. She's like, yeah, I hate you and I hate mushrooms.
I'm not gonna lie, stuff
I
like
didn't
that
say I
doesn't
hate
ruin
you.
anything.
I just say I'm ruined.
I've seen that scene. It didn't ruin mushrooms for me at all.
Yeah, me neither, man.
I still eat them.
But I can't be that ruined because I went to H Mart and bought a bunch of mushrooms, so I guess I got over it.
Kiki.
How can you not get over it? Mushrooms are delicious.
Mushrooms are delicious. And so, and that's completely not what you get with Kaguya. Kaguya is wholesome war, love, esque. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Completely the opposite, where interspecies reviewers is just in your face. And then you watch Kaguya and you're like,
I got diabetes now.
yeah, you're just like, how can they be so dumb? How can you be so dumb? And there's when you watch the live action movie too, it's even worse because they get right there. They get right there to just admitting it, and then yeah,
And then something happens.
bam. So Kimmy, have you seen Kaguya at all? Like any of the episodes, or not at all?
Not at all. Just the photo shoot I did with a friend.
Okay. Which character? Chika, the pink-haired one?
No, like,
Kaguya herself?
yes, herself.
Okay.
I was like, I'm pretty sure it's her name. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. There, I think of all people, Kimmy will appreciate Chin Chin. You don't know what it means now, but you'll understand when you get there.
Once you watch it.
It was so good, so impactful, they recreated it for the live-action movie.
Man, I'm going to be like watching this anime series, and then I'm going to come back around and be like, I feel like this way, just the way I feel about Domestic Girlfriend. Why did I watch all of this? Except, okay, will this disappoint me?
Will Kaguya disappoint you?
Yes.
No.
Great.
No.
Because that's what
Go ahead.
Domestic Girlfriend left me hanging with.
That got delayed, didn't it? Or that was, yeah, didn't it get delayed? Or that was comedy Snafu?
Snafu got
delayed. Okay.
Same with One Piece, Black Clover, and all these other anime.
Okay, hold on. So I'm gonna throw a slight spoiler warning here. About Domestic Girlfriend. So, you might want to skip ahead. 3, 2, 1. Okay, one last chance for spoiler warning.
Earmuffs.
So I saw a manga clip or a manga page. I think it was Domestic Girlfriend, where that chick got hit by a car. Is that what happened?
I heard a noise that sounded like
anime
surprise.
series?
In the manga.
I haven't read the manga.
Okay.
Why would
I
you read
hope
the
it doesn't
manga?
awkwardly turn into an isekai, because then I'm just going to be like, are you for real? Man, all these freaking isekais. You know what? I'm so saturated with isekais, I've just made it a joke to where in Spider-Man, I was just swinging around. I was like, alright, time for me to get isekai. Get swung into the front of a car. Bam!
You got hit by the train, too, don't forget.
Yeah, I did get hit by the train, you know. I love getting hit by things in motion. Okay.
But it wasn't a truck.
It wasn't a truck, no. But well, remember, Tanya was a train, so it plays. Train plays.
Well, it was the god guy that technically did it, not the train.
Okay. The train was the well, it is a vehicle. It was the vessel.
Yeah.
Of God's
the
destruction.
Worldbringer, I hear.
Yeah. But no, the chick in Domestic Girlfriend, I think, survived. But I think it's one of those has amnesia cliche storylines.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I think that's what happened. I could be wrong, because I don't follow Domestic Girlfriend. But I swear I saw it, and everybody was angry and sad reacting, and I was like, what? And some people were laugh reacting. I guess because that character was kind of all over the place. or some people just want to watch the world burn, so they're laughing. I don't know. But yeah, I swear that's what it was.
I think I'd be one of those.
Well, I guess I'll find out next season, right?
If it doesn't get delayed.
I mean, I didn't say when. I just said when the next season. I didn't put a date to it.
Yeah. And I hope that you find happiness when it does come back. I hope that your characters are all alive and well.
With all their memories.
Sure.
With all their memories, and they're not isekai. You did give me a good idea, though. I think that we need to hit up those dudes that do Death Battle, and we need to have Truck-kun go up against Bench-sama.
Oh, God.
And see who's the biggest dickhead in, like, anime history, you know? Because they've both taken an equal amount of lives. Bench is pretty bad, too, you know?
I'm pretty sure the truck would win, though.
Truck would win, you think? I don't know. Bench has some good moments. Bench is pretty good.
I only know Bench from
Oresuki.
Truck is in every isekai just about you can name.
Just about.
He's got a bigger kill count than Bench. Bench just disappoints the main character.
I don't know, he's killed a couple of relationships. That's a different type of murder. Okay.
That's true.
And the only thing is that when you look at Truck-kun, though, it's like he's got this weird Shonen Jump DBZ style like camaraderie, because there's Truck, but then like we said, there's Train, and then there's Knife from Slime.
Knife? Oh.
So he's got his, because he's always got backup, you know, he's always got those guys like the Going Merry pirates, you know, or the Bleach guys. There's always a crew, you know. So Truck-kun is the main character, but he's got his support squad of Train and Knife. And who else am I missing? it's pretty much, those are the big ones. Those are the big ones.
Yeah, I think so.
I want to
Tractor.
Who got tractored?
Konosuba. He died from shock because he thought he was going to get hit by a truck, but it was a tractor.
There you go. Tractor will be the guy that comes in the second season.
The second season.
Yeah, it's like, with like what's his name? The Afro skeleton guy. Is it Johnny? No, in One Piece.
The Afro guy?
The skeleton.
Oh, Brook.
Thank you, Johnny. Brook.
Johnny is a character, though.
Johnny is, yeah.
But he's not one of the crew.
Yeah, I'm getting my One Piece all confused.
Yeah, he's a friend of Zoro's, but he's not, like I said, he's not part of the crew.
Oh, okay. So I had the right character, wrong name.
Yeah.
Cool,
You were thinking of Brook.
Yeah, there you go. So Tractor will be like Brook. He'll show up later down the line.
Yeah. Or maybe Truck-kun could be isekai'd into Tractor.
So Kimmy, go watch Kaguya-Sama. You won't regret it. You've got plenty of options right now. The first season is standard 12, and they're on episode 3 right now. And if you're interested, the live action movie is legit. It's pretty good. So yeah, go watch Kaguya. Letits now.
Yeah.
Now?
Yes, now Letits now.
But we still have the rest of this hour time together.
I know. I'll tag you in the meme later.
Okay, I'm about to say, like, you can't just boo me off now. You can't boo me off when the next title we'll talk about is actually something I know.
There's a time for Letits now and a time for no. Anyways, let's talk about Boku Hero.
Boku Hero.
So Kimmy, let me start by asking you. You're completely caught up with the whole series, correct? The anime?
Yes, although I need to go back and rewatch Gentle because I was cooking during that arc in which my roommates were watching. So I caught bits and pieces, but not the entirety of it for that 2-minute fight that Deku had.
Okay. All right.
And, included flashbacks and everything.
Okay.
I think Steven would tell you that you didn't miss much.
No. Roman and I, we had this discussion on the last episode. We were talking about this. But effectively, I just, as a brief recap, because I don't want to rant and rave about this, the 2 points that I brought up, and Roman also, like I said, Roman had his own hot take too. First off, we live in this era right now where Marvel Comics is putting out Snowflake and Safe Space.
Uh-huh.
And Boku Hero puts out La Brava. And La Brava is, like, so adorable, so innocent, and is a character that's actually worth investing in. And she's actually voiced by Hoda Yui, who is, like, a 20-year vet of the anime industry. So she's no slouch. She's done some roles. And so it's like, it's a character that was well written, good concept, all of this. And Roman and I were both kind of on the same page where we can't wait until the time skip, because she's coming back. And she's probably going to be, like, stacked. Like, puberty's going to hit her like Truck-kun, And so when she does come back, it's going to be great. And probably going to even get a face turn. She's going to be a hero and whatnot and, be Billy Badass. And American comics is just, like, dying. It's just dying. And they're just getting destroyed by anime and manga. And it's like American comics, they created the superhero genre, but then in comes like Boku Hero, and even to go further, like we just said, One Punch Man, and they're doing better superhero stories than the guys who created the superhero genre.
I mean, I feel like that adaptation was a direct correlation to K-pop and boy bands, to what the Americans did in the 90s, to what Korea has done with it, like, all together.
Right. It's...
It happens.
Yeah, it's embarrassing. It's embarrassing. It's sad and it's embarrassing. But it's like, that's also just the way, like, markets and economics works, You go with who has the better product. And right now, Japanese manga and anime creators are making a better product. And that's why Boku Hero is outselling Spider-Man and Batman and everybody. You know, they're topping the charts. And then coming up right behind them is Demon Slayer. Mm-hmm. So it's like, what do you guys think? And then what's the answer? They make SJW, pro SJW stuff that doesn't sell, and the characters don't look good, they don't sound good, and it's just so bad, and it's embarrassing, and it's sad, you know? Because these are the guys you grew up with. You know, as children here in the States, you grew up with Batman, Spider-Man, and all of and X-Men. And now you look at them now in the year 2020, and it's like, really? I care more about the little lowly girl that looks like a clown, and she's crying, and her power is literally the power of love. I care more about her. And I want to actually see what happens to her after the time skip. So yeah. Yeah, that's where I'm at. And then my second point is when I remember when they did the Endeavor part that they ended the season with Endeavor's fight against the Nomu. And so I remember when that happened in the manga, that there was this giant crap storm on my social media, like my Facebook, and people are all saying like, oh, don't make him a hero. He was slapping around Todoroki's mom. He ain't no hero. He a bastard. He a dumbass. Blah, blah, blah. And then there was people like, yeah, but that's the point of the redemption. You know, like they were a bad person. They realized they're a bad person. They're trying to stop being a bad person and make up for it and redeem themselves. You know, let him take a shot or get his chance to redeem himself. And some people were just, you know, so hell bent on revenge, they just weren't even having it. You know, it's just like, let him burn. He needs to burn. He's no redemption. No, and it's like, you know,
I mean, the guy burns enough.
Yeah, giggity, waka waka.
Yeah, that's the right one.
You know, and it's like if you never give a person a chance to redeem themselves, they'll never change their behavior. They'll keep acting the same way they act. The cycle will always continue endlessly because there's no reason for them to stop. You know, no one is giving them the chance to do better. So why should they be better? Effectively, that's what we were talking about. And I'm not going to take Roman's thunder away, but Roman also had the hot take that he believes All Might should drop dead to give character development for Deku. But I'm going to let him talk about that because that's his hot take. Those 2 points are my points. And then Roman's got his hot take, and so I'm going to let him get you caught up on his hot take. So go, Roman.
Yeah, because you just totally made that sound horrible. Okay, my thing was that I feel like All Might should still die the way that that Night Eye saw it. That Deku should not be able to change the way All Might dies because he's the hero of the story. That because he was able to change his fate from fighting what's his name? Overhaul, that he can just go around changing everybody's fate, including All Might.
I think that's reasonable.
So I feel like All Might should still die the way Night Eye saw it, but maybe have maybe just influence the newer heroes to be more like try to be
heroic
and better,
better
themselves, because now he's actually gone, so they need to step up more. That was basically what I was getting at. Not the whole, he just needs to drop dead.
That was a loose summary.
Do you no favors, man.
That was a loose recap of what happened.
Loose. Liberal interpretation of
the TLDR of it all was Roman said All Might should drop dead.
Let me have you read the cliff notes to my book reports in school, Steven.
Yeah. No, I'll do a great job, I promise.
And and it's not like I hate All Might. I like All Might. He's funny. I really enjoy his character, but I also feel like maybe, you know, it was already shown that Night Eye has tried changing the future multiple times. He said he has, and he hadn't been able to change it. I don't think everything should be able to be changed just because the main character wants it to change. kind of like a Naruto thing, you know, where he was all like, "Oh, I can change my fate. Nobody can tell me how I can be." And technically, that was true because he was always destined to be some ninja that united all the clans and stuff. So technically, Neji was right because he was like, "You can't change your fate." So I think it should be the same with Night Eye. Can't change it, at least for All Might.
I want to also throw in there that Neji is Roman's favorite character too.
Yeah, and he died.
Hey.
So,
he died, Jiraiya died, they nearly killed Gaara. All of my favorite characters are like on the chopping block almost.
we're gonna put your picture on that dinosaur. All my friends are dead.
Yeah. I'm just gonna have a like Photoshop in all of my favorite anime characters that died with my face on that dinosaur.
Oh, so there you go. That was roughly the Boku Hero discussion we had. What do you think? Go, Kimmy. The mic is yours.
I feel like I had a pre-discussion before the episode started that unintentionally aligned with where y'all were projecting to go, particularly around Endeavor, just because I think it was purposeful in how the storytelling was done in giving Gentle a specific arc of episodes to divulge into it, just because his track wasn't typical of a villain track, and to be quite honest, it was like, whoa, how did you get on this entire path? And you know, it's really unfortunate, but on the flip side, then there's Endeavor, number 2, now number 1, and he's having to come to terms with what does it actually mean to be, you know, the symbol of peace. Is he to be that symbol of peace? And as the up-and-coming number 1 hero, what is the impression he's to set aside for the society? And I think that's a really bold move to, you know, go from one, a really, like, different diecast of a villain character to one of a hero that is definitely flawed. He's very, very, flawed, and you can see that angst and intensity and just, anguish that, you know, his kids have as it pans through, and you know, they emotionally are kind of processing it of like, I do not want to acknowledge what this man has done, but I also can't turn my eyes away from what he is doing now to redeem himself. And he is literally burning himself to oblivion to sacrifice everything that he believes in to be acknowledged as number 1. And for All Might, the price wasn't the same for him as it is for Endeavor, and it's a completely different journey, and I think it was really powerful. I'm glad that they went that route to get a little bit of dialogue and discourse around, you know, once people, you know, have gone on this whole series of continuous, you know, mistakes and trials and just awfulness, like, at what point should we give up on them? And there is no clear-cut answer, and I believe that's subjective to what 80 person's level of tolerance and acceptance is at. And you know, and I mean, there are some things that as a society it's universally like unacceptable, but that term of society, it varies itself in relativity depending on time, depending on location, and the peers that are around you or that respective area. So I mean, like, I could go into it, and the part that I have to like be like, what the hell about it, this is that the internet wants to throw a whole discourse and a whole fanny fit around this topic, and yet here we are creating memes about Kim Jong-un's little sister that's a real life figure that has actually been inflicted trauma and abuse and like genocidal initiatives, and it's like, y'all are whacked and wild out here and tripping if you're gonna be devoting all your time and energy into this level of a discourse for a fictional character when you could be making a real impact in the real world. One, by not like circulating these memes around, but you know, also just like realize that this. Why, y'all? Why? Why are y'all? This is like a weird like reality fetishism happening here. That if you told me this years ago in 2020, we would be fantasifying. I don't even know what the word is. A dictator.
Fantasizing.
Wow. Yeah.
Fetishizing or yeah.
Fetishizing, fantasizing.
Yeah.
A mixture of both.
Glorifying.
Yeah, I mean.
Glorifying.
Glorifying.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, I mean, I'm over here just head shaking just because I'm like, so this is what our essential workers are fighting for.
Yes, they go out and put their bodies on the line every day so you can make memes about Kim Jong-un's sister.
But she's the yandere waifu we've all wanted.
Maybe we deserve this timeline. And you know what? My Myers-Briggs personality test result is once again affirmed to be an idealist, and I say statements like that, and then I'm like, I have to dig out that hopefulness inside myself and be like, cling on, because it can do better. It just loves, I don't know, falling on its face over and over and suggesting really, really ignorant stuff at times.
Kimmy, I'm really sorry. I'm gonna throw myself out after this.
Idealism, aren't you?
Kim Jong-un's sister's gonna be in the next anime. My life as a dictatoress. All routes lead to doom.
No. Damn.
All right, I'm gonna see myself out. Good night. Hey, tip your waiter and have a great night, everybody.
Did you want this? Did you want this? Get back here. You can't leave.
And then I shared that picture where it was actually in the third episode, the most recent episode, the fourth episode, where Katarina actually said, oh, my resting villainous face actually came in handy. And that's what I said, is that the sister actually has resting bitch face. So she really could be Katarina. And if you think about how North Korea acts, all routes lead to doom. Alright, I'm gonna stop. She's gonna force choke me through this microphone.
Did you make a new meme on this podcast? Or is this one that you ripped?
No, you inspired me just now. This all came because
I don't want to inspire this crap.
Congratulations. You've doomed mankind even further.
I thought I wanted to watch Villainess. Now I'm having second thought.
Oh man, if only I was good with Photoshop.
Now we can kind of picture her in her farming outfit.
Good thing I am. Bad thing, I'm not doing anything for you.
Did you hear what Roman just said?
I did not.
Roman just said now he can picture the sister in a farming outfit. You know, because if she gets exiled from North Korea, she needs a trait. She needs to survive, so she needs a skin.
She could be a K-pop star, I guess.
Yeah, that's
they're
good.
already making those those vids. I forget what they're called. I can't keep up.
I'm sorry.
Which vids?
No, you're not.
Which ones?
You're sorry when you're not sorry.
Which the K-pop vids? Which vids?
They're like tribute videos.
I don't know. What's an example?
Wow. You have to make me remember something that I just recently learned about 2 days ago, but obviously I didn't learn it.
Give me 5 examples right now.
The name.
No, I'm kidding.
It's fine. It's fine.
cool.
It's fine. But It's real quick for me personally. I see the whole because growing up, I always had that sense of humor and comedy and sarcasm was like it was I don't know if it's a coping mechanism or just it's totally ingrained in my personality. So I always am going to look to find the punchline. That's just how I am personally. But it's not that I'm not taking it seriously, and I completely get your point about where people's priorities lie. I completely understand, and I do want to play off what you said too, because people projecting their issues onto entertainment mediums is exactly why the American comic industries are doing what they are doing, because they think they can make money off of real world issues. And they can't! No one's buying it! That's why what they say, like 120 something comic shops have closed down in the middle of the virus? Something like that.
I'm surprised it's only that many.
Yeah. And even Kevin Smith, I think he said he was in trouble.
Really?
Yeah.
His comic shop?
His comic shop said he's in trouble too. Yeah.
Not getting that Clerks money anymore.
No. He needs to make another movie. Yeah, they're all in dire straits. They're all about to become anime shops in a minute.
Yeah, that'll work out for me. More anime shops.
Hey, I'll buy My Life as a Villainess Volume 4 from Kevin Smith.
Yeah.
Found it. Fan cams.
Fan cams.
Fan cams are short, often fan-shot clips of K-pop artists performing on stage.
Got it.
And
those.
edit them with different effects and transitions, and then in reply to posted arguments, they disagree with using a montage of the idol performing.
Got it. Okay.
Okay.
Got it.
So that's why, if she has to pick up a skill, well,
She could do
there
fan
you
cams.
go.
Follow BTS.
Yeah, and I want to say that they have done performances in military-themed outfits too, so she's not that far off.
Pretty sure they have. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah.
I can't believe I inspired this. Can't believe
You better believe
I
it.
have a dud.
When he makes it, I'm gonna have him put "inspired by Kimmy" on it.
No. 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 Don't you believe it, good sir? I said no.
All roads lead to
No.
Oh man. Oh man.
That's funny.
Yeah, go watch Villainous. Go. I mean, as soon as we get off the phone now, I'm gonna have to go and get the next volumes of the manga. I'm gonna have to go get the manga now. Oh man. I didn't expect this discussion on Boku Hero to take this sudden turn.
Swerve full circle. I'm gonna go eat these cookies soon that will be arriving at my door, thank you.
Yeah. Oh man, real life Katarina. Now I expect you to cosplay Katarina now. I'm kidding.
Why? No.
I'm kidding. While eating the cookies and the muffins. Anyways.
And a few of them better be
No,
on the
thank
floor.
you.
Oh man. Okay.
Or at least the grass. It's not as dirty.
What in the spicy blue hell, man?
Oh. So yeah. 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 I let me ask you this. So, did you watch the Boku Hero movie?
Yes, both of them.
Both of them. Okay. So, was it Nana, right? The other person for All for One?
Yes.
Or One for All? One for All. Was she ever the number one ranked hero? Or that was just All Might?
I actually don't remember.
They never mentioned it? She was never ranked or anything?
Not that I know of,
Okay.
but now I'm going to look it up.
Okay. I'm just curious. I haven't seen any of the two movies.
The movies has nothing to do with like mentioning her.
Okay.
They definitely are not necessarily canon, because there is a character in the first one that I really like.
It's a movie
but
exclusive.
She's not canon.
Yeah. Just like in Bleach, when they would do all those filler arcs, and those characters only stayed in the filler arcs, and then when they go to the real story, they don't exist. And then the filler arc starts up, the next filler arc starts, and they're back there like, hey, where you been? Doing main story stuff. Where you been?
You know, I actually thought that was what was happening in My Hero Academia with Gentle. Like, I was like, is this a filler arc? And
Right.
then, like, I was notified that, nope, it's part of the manga. And I was like, huh, interesting. And then, like, now that the Endeavor episodes have been released, now it makes sense, because I'm like, oh, they juxtapositioned this precisely with a roller coaster of emotions in mind.
Yeah.
Yeah, one of the guys, I don't know if he cosplayed with you when you did Momo last year at Fanime, when you did the Boku Hero group, but he cosplays as Bakugo, and he was kind of talking to me about this, and he was the one that actually was kind of telling me about Gentle, but I just had vague recollections of it. He was basically just telling me, like, there's this guy, he, like, goes toe-to-toe with Deku, and he's kind of a joke gag villain, but it's one of those things where they make him seem to really be a joke, but then he actually goes toe-to-toe with the main character, and I'm like, oh, okay, cool beans. And then I actually saw it, and I was like, oh, that's who he was talking about. Okay. But it also is, like you said, too, you can see the two contradictions, basically, because you saw Gentle was a guy that wanted to be a hero, ended up becoming a villain, and then you had Endeavor, who was a hero, who almost basically became a villain. But both of them basically got saved, quote unquote. So
I kind of want to be like, all paths lead to one road.
well, that's what Roman and I were kind of basically saying. We were on the same page that after the time skip, because you know it's going to happen, that when you do see La Brava and Gentle and they come back, they're both going to basically be heroes. They're going to be rehabilitated, essentially.
I pretty much figured they'd be working for the police, since
Yeah.
they offered La Brava a job,
Yep.
and she wouldn't work with them unless Gentle was there, so, yeah.
Yeah. And you saw that Gentle still had the desire to be a hero, so, yeah.
I mean, it's what he's always wanted to do.
Right.
Just went bad for him.
Yeah.
Sometimes you go off the broken path.
Yeah. And again, that's still my gripe. Again, I always bring it back. It's like I can't get over that American comics are doing this. That they just can't make stories. They can't make stories.
It's also like, from storytelling perspective, like, America is not in the business of going for the unsafe decisions, for the risky storylines.
Mm-hmm.
And they go for the hero's arc of the tried and true, whereas in Japan, it's like, there's so many anime series, manga series, for all sorts of creators to, like, proliferate and have audiences dictate, you know, what lives and what dies, regardless of the storyline and the way it's told. But here in America, it's like, well, we need to get everyone to say story page. We need to monopolize everyone 60% to get to this, instead of letting people, like, explore and appreciate their different niche storylines and gather around that space. So that's personally what I love so much about anime, and I know it seems like I don't watch anime according to this podcast because I missed out the first two, but I will say that a series to check out is Tower of God.
Oh, I'm watching that now.
Yeah. I was on the verge of watching that, but this week I'm planning on watching that, yeah.
Sweet. And then I've been told by my friends to watch Glyphnir. I think I'm saying that correctly.
Yeah,
people.
I have no idea how to pronounce
People have
that,
been
but
saying that. I think someone mentioned that in the comments a couple of times. And I think in the Discord, too, someone said that. Sleipnir?
Mm-hmm.
No, like...
Glipnir?
Glipnir?
Yeah,
Something like
yeah.
that. Yeah, with the, like, stuff He looks like he's like a big stuffed animal almost.
Yeah.
But I think he's flesh. Yeah, I've been getting recommendations for that, but I had it on the poll.
Yeah, that's where.
And nobody voted for it, so I'm not watching it.
Wow.
Every time somebody says...
Is your life dictated by a poll? Is that your anime series?
This was actually the first time I've done this in a couple of years. Usually I just decide what to watch. But I figured I'd let for this time I thought I'll let the viewers decide. And I had like a poll with 4 or 5 shows on each one. Glipner or whatever it's called was on one of them, and nobody voted for it. They didn't get one vote at all. And then I get all these comments saying, "Are you watching this season?" I'm like, "No," because it was on the poll and nobody voted for it.
Maybe they're having a hard time finding your poll.
It was in the video though.
Hey
It was
guys,
on the video. Steve posted it on Facebook. I had it on the Discord. YouTube's bad at getting things out. I even had it on the community page on Facebook too. I had it in 4 different places.
hey guys, if you want me to watch Glipnir, go vote for Glipnir. Crickets. Roman puts out a video on something else. Hey, are you gonna watch Glipnir? Roman rage quit.
That's basically me. Yeah.
Well, worst comes to worst. Since I am not a regular, I'm just a mere guest, I will go watch this series of my own accord.
All right, we'll do that. Next time you're on, we're going to talk about Glipnir. I'm going to take you up on that bluff.
It's funny, too, because that was a series I thought people would vote for.
What did I vote for?
Maybe they didn't know how great it was.
You voted for, I think, Princess Connect Redive.
Yes, because that was the only one I recognized.
Which is actually pretty good. I've been enjoying it.
Yeah, I've the guys that do GNA reviews, those FGO related videos. He's been doing reaction videos to that too. And I was watching him. He was doing a live stream like a couple days ago.
Yeah.
And someone actually asked him best Princess Connect, and he goes Kokoro, and I was like, okay.
Kokoro.
Yeah, I guess Kokoro is the popular one or the most popular one.
Well, she's like the quiet, sweet girl, trying to do
boring.
The main character.
Lame.
I'm what's her name?
Pecorine.
Yeah, because she's a glutton. Like I said, I'm kind of into the gluttonous characters.
If she don't eat the muffins off the floor, I'm not interested.
She was eating mushrooms straight off the
Oh,
ground,
God damn it.
So.
Well, we all know how Kimmy feels about mushrooms.
And bugs and...
Yeah.
They're starting a guild for, it's called the Gourmet Guild. So,
God damn it.
they're going to go look up different recipes and foods and stuff.
Interesting. Oh yeah, I'm gonna have to get on that too. Those two. I do have Dorohedoro, but I saw now that Dorohedoro is gonna end up on Netflix. I think like this week. So I'm like, well, I'm just gonna wait then.
Oh, is that a Netflix show?
Yeah, it's gonna be on Netflix.
Okay.
I don't know what it was airing on previously, but they made the announcement like a week ago or so that it's gonna end up on Netflix. So I'm like, all right. But I already had it. I just haven't gotten to watch it yet.
Right.
But now that it's on Netflix and I'm getting Netflix through Comcast, I'm like, well, I just turn on Netflix. I actually added a bunch of Netflix shows yesterday. Like, what did I add? I added Violet Evergarden that I've never seen. High Score Girl season. Well, both seasons are on there, so now I can just go knock them out. A couple other things. Little Witch Academia.
That's really good. I like that.
Still haven't finished.
That's is that Trigger or Gainax?
That's Trigger.
That's Trigger. It's like one of the few shows from Trigger I actually liked.
Right? It's like Studio Trigger has like a 25% win rate with me. And it's like the stuff that they do like is not their own creations. Like Darling in the Franxx. I liked that, and they didn't do that though. They did that with A1 Studios. And then Gridman, which even though that was them, they animated it. Gridman is a Sentai. So they just made an anime based off a Sentai.
Which is why it worked.
Which is why it was good. Which is why I liked it. So, yeah. So, but like Kill la Kill,
I think I got like 8 episodes into that, and then I stopped.
Yeah, that's about right.
Same with Gurren Lagann. I think I got like 12 episodes into that, and I stopped.
Gurren Lagann, I finished.
Same
that.
here.
I finished that. I think that we're right where Kamina died. That's pretty much the end of the series. So if you stopped at that point, I wouldn't blame you. I wouldn't get mad at you.
I think I got like 2 episodes after that.
Yeah,
Where they're on their way to that other island or whatever.
Yeah.
But that's as far as I made it, and I couldn't finish.
Yeah, that's fair.
I've tried 3 times. And everybody keeps telling me how great it is, and I'm like, maybe I just don't like mech anime that much.
That's fair.
Oh.
Yeah, I think that they pretty much died after Panty and Stocking.
Yeah, I like that one.
Yeah. That was pretty much it. And then they broke off. They formed Trigger, and there you go.
It's just hit or miss.
25% win rate.
Mostly miss.
Mostly miss. They did just do one, too, that I liked. Or maybe it was Gridman. No, they did do one. They did do one that I liked recently, like last year. But I can't recall.
Wasn't that Gridman?
Gridman was 2018.
Man.
Yeah. Gridman was a while ago. And that 2018 was the year where not Kana Ueda, that sounds like a rain. Reina Ueda was basically coming up because she did Akane, and then she also did what's her face in Akashic Records, Rumia, yeah, she did Rumia, and then she kind of came up from there, and now she's Kanao and Demon Slayer and Grey and Detective Waver. Now she's all over the place. Now she's blown up. Oh, and then she was also the lowly sister, the lowly obsessed sister in Wata Tenshi. It's also her. So now she's all over the place. Mashu, yes. Yes. Pervert Mashu. How funny that she's in Fate. But yeah, she came up and yeah, she had her breakout. I feel she broke out in Gridman.
Who was she in Gridman?
She was Shinjo Akane, the pink-haired one. The one that made all the kaiju, essentially. And apparently Akane was also from the original. Like, she was from the live-action Gridman.
Oh, there was an actual show?
Yeah, there's 4 seasons of Sentai Gridman.
Huh.
And Hikaru Midorikawa has always been the voice of Gridman.
Nice.
So, and Hikaru Midorikawa, legendary voice actor, as far back as the 80s.
So you weren't kidding when you said they just took Sentai and made an anime?
Correct.
I thought you were just saying... I thought it was like a... what do you call it? Like a tribute or something to Sentai. But it was a Sentai show that they turned into an anime.
Correct. My understanding is Gridman is actually set in the Ultraman universe. Really? So it's kind of like, a side story or an alternate universe of Ultraman. And that's Gridman. And so that's SSS is its implication. Because, like when you have Kamen Rider, they have like those subtitles like Kamen Rider Zero or Kamen Rider Exceed or whatever.
Is that why he kind of looks like Ultraman?
Yeah, correct.
Okay.
Yeah, and then there's Nightman, etc., etc. Yeah. But they brought back Hikaru Midorikawa, who's always been the voice of Gridman in all the series, and so he came back and did him in the anime, so. And then the anime actually ends, like, post-credits, like Marvel style, with Akane Shinjo waking up in the real world. So they did say that they are going to continue it, so I guess the anime did good enough that they think there's a market for another Gridman live action, so we'll see. I'd probably watch it now that I know, and they've probably reeled in a bunch of chumps like me. So, but yeah. So we'll see. But yeah, that's Studio Trigger. But
still with us?
Kimmy, you saw Gridman, didn't you?
No, what made you think I did?
That I keep sending you Rika's thighs memes.
I mean, anybody can enjoy
I
those.
see thighs and I'm like, yay.
See, she agrees.
So that was actually, and that was intentional. That whole meme, because the director, I think, was it the director or the producer? One of the guys. He's all like, when I made Rika, I always want the focus to be on Rika's thighs. And what's funny is that Rika is a main character, but in terms of what she actually does for the plot, she doesn't really do a whole lot. Like, I don't know. It's like she tries to help Akane out, and so there's something there, but she doesn't really do a whole lot. Like, she's not involved in the fighting or anything. She's just trying to help Akane not be depressed, essentially. Yeah.
I mean, I haven't seen the show,
Yeah.
but if they focused on her from just the thighs up, thighs down, then I wouldn't complain.
Jesus. Yeah, that's why her skirt is super like short too. Yeah. Yeah. That was all intentional, but yeah.
Okay. Smart move.
But yeah. Yeah. Yeah, Rika's thighs and Akane just needs a hug. That's essentially the show. Aoyuki's in it too. So Hikaru Midori Kawa and Aoyuki are both in there.
Oh, so I won't like it?
Yeah, you probably
No.
So Kimmy, the running meme is that whenever there's a character voiced by Aoyuki, just assume Roman doesn't like it. He'll at least definitely not like the Aoyuki character, that's for sure.
I was about to say, like, she's in it? The whole series is out?
For Gridman?
Like, in general.
Yeah, so I don't think there's, right now, in terms of Gridman, I don't think there's any airing shows. And the anime is out, and I don't know what's the production of any other ones. Like I said, I'm
Hang on, nerd.
I know.
I was just talking about, dislike. So, if Aoyuki's in it, is that just a no-go for this entire series?
Yeah, I'll have to get back to you on that. Yeah.
I mean, I'm willing to watch it still.
It was good.
Right.
It was good. It was, like I said, and I'm not even a Sentai guy, and I still had fun with it.
It's just that every time we talk about a show that has Aoyuki in it, I usually end up not liking her character or the show.
If it helps, her character is actually a very minor character. Like, if you didn't, someone pointed out to you, you wouldn't even recognize her. That's how minor of a character she is.
Okay.
Yeah.
But that's not to say I don't like some of her characters. Because I do like Diane from Seven Deadly Sins.
Everybody
and
does.
I do like Okita and Shooten
Yes.
from FGO.
You love Madoka.
No. Who was she that I...
You don't like Tatsumaki.
I do like Tatsumaki.
Okay.
But I prefer Fubuki.
Okay. I'm the opposite.
I think that's it. That's all I can remember.
It.
Like, I don't like Tanya.
Oh, hey.
You already know I don't like Tanya.
Hey.
Except in Isekai Quartet. I like her Isekai Quartet.
Dude, she was destroying the entire Russian capital while singing the national anthem. And then in the post movie interview, they actually said Aoyuki was having so much fun singing the song, she couldn't even keep a straight face. She's a shitlord, man. Aoyuki is just a shitlord. I love her so much. So yeah, yeah. Albert, the guy that does the FGO thing, he was one of her escorts during Anime NYC last year. So
Yeah, I remember.
yeah.
Yeah.
Next time I hang out with him, I gotta ask him how that experience was.
Right.
So, that bastard. He looked me right in the face at the sushi restaurant, and he was all like, "So you want Aoyuki, huh?" And I'm like, "Don't you do it, you bastard!" And then he did it. That jerk. Never forgive. He looked at me right in the face, and I told him, and then he went and did it. What a dick.
When you weren't even there?
I could have gone. I was on the verge of going, but there was no autograph session, so what was the point? I was like, don't look at Aoyuki, don't breathe on Aoyuki, don't even take her air. Don't take the same air as Aoyuki. They shuffled her into the room, they shuffled her out, and that was the end. Kaguya Rie, the voice actress from she did Alphonse, I'm sorry, in Full Metal Alchemist.
Albert.
Yeah, Albert. Albert is the
Albert.
motherfucker. Yes, Albert Elric. She was Alphonse, but more recently she's like Nobunaga,
Okay.
Cleopatra, Rise in Persona 4. She was also there, so it was essentially a giant fate gathering because you had Okuborumi, Aoyuki, and Kaguya Rie all there. Essentially, so literally Aoyuki and Kaguya Rie, Okita, and Nobunaga. Gura right there. But apparently Kaguya Rie wasn't involved in the fate stuff. She was in her own thing. But I was like, those two right there would have made it worth it. So, I don't know.
Right.
But whatever. It just didn't happen. So, yeah. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Was she Madoka, actually?
Aoyuki was.
Yeah. Okay. That's why she was the most boring character in the show.
That was like her breakout role, too,
Okay.
was Madoka. That's what put her on the map.
because I watched that again and I was like, man, Madoka really doesn't do a whole lot except complain.
Well, you know, it was like the 34th run through of the game. Okay, it was like a speed run attempt, and this is the 34th time playing the game. So you know, what do you want? What do you expect?
Because even me and my cousin,
Yeah.
even she's like the least interesting character in this show.
Well, you know, hold on. You want to be like that? Kimmy, hang out real quick. Watch the grown-ups argue. To be fair, Homura kept running interference, so she didn't let Madoka do anything. So is that really Aoyuki's fault?
I didn't say it was her fault. I just said Madoka.
All right.
Specifically the character.
All right.
Not Aoyuki.
All right. Aoyuki also was Tamaki in Fire Force. And I know Kimmy has been talking about cosplaying Tamaki, so...
Tamaki.
The cat, Fire Cat.
Oh.
Yeah.
I prefer Muscle Ogre.
Ogre?
Yeah, Ogre.
Ogre's pretty
Maki?
good.
Yeah,
Maki.
Maki.
It's so funny because it's Tamaki and Maki, and I was like, you running out of ideas? I was like, you couldn't come up with another name? Name her Shinobu. Come on. No, boom. I just threw that right out there. Or Megumi. Boom. There you go. No, Tamaki and Maki. I'm like, okay.
They just need a Tama.
Well, again, I've never seen, Death Eater, so I don't know anything about that.
You mean Soul Eater?
Death Eater. Soul Eater, yes. Thank you. Soul Eater. I never saw Soul Eater, so Fire Force is the first show that I'm exposed to from this guy, and
Right.
it was pretty good, so.
I still need to finish it.
Yeah.
I just got... The last episode I watched, I think, was 5 or 6.
Okay.
Where they went to do the training thing, where they were in the building, where he first fights one of those.
Oh, so you just met Tamaki.
Yeah, we just met her.
Yeah, there you go. That's Aoyuki. See, there's another Aoyuki character you
Oh,
like.
wait, actually. No. The last episode I watched was when they introduced the chick from the other fire station that was walking on people.
Oh,
and-
Princess Hibana?
Yeah, that was the last episode I watched.
There's a friend of mine. She likes Gyaru type characters, and when I shared the announcement that season 2 of Fire Force was coming, she's all like, "But Princess Hibana though, where's she at?" I'm all like, "Being the baddest bitch, obviously. Come on." What up? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I like Gyaru characters.
Gyaru types, man. So.
I also realized, since we were technically still on Boku, that bunny character, the third, number 3 of issue,
Yeah.
had
Miroku?
like 3 minutes in the show, and she like blew up.
Right, correct. Now she's up to like 1,000 entries on Gelburu.
Yeah,
The image search, yeah.
I was.
correct.
I just remember seeing images of her, and I was like, she must have made a really huge impact. And I watched the episode, and it's like 3 minutes. And I'm like, well, I guess that's all you really need.
Yeah, I have a friend that cosplayed her with Kimmy last year at the gathering. I think that's where Kimmy and you met, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, and yeah, she was like in 5 panels, and then boom, there you go.
Wow,
So,
it's amazing how quick it can be. For
yeah.
waifus.
Yeah. And then the same thing, too, because there was another dark-skinned or Gyaru type character in One Punch Man. The sports one, that athlete chick. And then she blew up in popularity, too. The one that's like super fast, super strong. The Olympic one. The runner.
Sonic? No, I'm kidding.
Yes, Sonic and One Punch Man.
I don't think I've seen this one yet.
Okay, yeah, she was another one too that just came out, and they just blew her up and put her on a pedestal. So yeah, they really like their tan waifus.
I mean, they're great, unless they're in God, what is the name of that show with the? Oh, we can't study.
Oh, We Never Learn.
We never learn, because then it's the teacher. She's the best.
But apparently that's Furuhashi. Furuhashi won apparently.
Yeah.
What? What? Yeah, and I know. Actually, again, I keep going back to Kimmy. Kimmy is also working on Mafiu Sensei. So there you go, best girl.
Oh, you're doing a Mafiu Sensei cosplay?
I have so many waifus on my list to work on.
So but Furuhashi won. I don't know, man. She was on the Mafiu was on the list, but she was like 7th place, and Furuhashi was like 2 or 1 with 2. Remember for the season, the end of season.
I think if it was just for that show, right?
No, it was for the season.
Oh, all of them.
Yeah.
It
Furuhashi
was
was
like
number 2.
1 or 2.
Yeah, Furuhashi was like at the top, and I'm like, what the hell? And Mafu Sensei was towards the bottom, like 7 or 8. I think 7.
I mean, that's what happens when you give Skinny Girl 3 great episodes.
We never learn. I know that they said they ended it and all that, but check it. We never learn needs to do with quintuplets is about to do and change the ending.
Well, from what I understand, the manga is going to have the different endings.
Of We Never Learn.
Yeah.
So quintuplets is going to change it in the anime.
So they're going to have a different girl.
Yes.
Okay.
Or the harem ending. I bet they're going to do the harem ending.
I would have preferred a harem ending.
Right.
I think I heard who won in the anime. I haven't finished it yet.
In the manga?
No, both.
Okay.
But I know for the manga, the author said he was going to do more to give the other girls their ending.
This is We Never Learn.
Yeah.
Okay. So in quintuplets, they're going to change the ending in the anime.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And that's what I'm saying. They're just going to do a harem route. Just save the trouble.
Because I haven't watched quintuplets, so... Yeah.
That one, that might be Inori Minase's lowest ranked character. It's like she does Hestia, everyone loves Hestia. She does Rem, everyone loves Rem. She does Reynes in Detective Waver. He loves Amelia. And everyone loves Reynes. And then she does Itsuki, Nakano Itsuki, and it's like, eh. It's like the one with the least personality is Itsuki. It's like what's her personality? Eat and complain.
So she glutton?
Yeah, actually. She really is. She gets like 2 orders of tempura with her rice. It's like, what?
Nice. It's still not as good as Arturia, but okay.
Yeah. So, yeah, quintuplets is changing the ending to satisfy all the weebs, all the otaku that were butthurt that their girl didn't win. And I'm like, the only reason why that character won is because she was voiced by Ayane Sakura. I'm like, that's the only reason why. Yeah.
Well, I mean, Ran from Bang Dream.
Right. Ayane Sakura is just she's just like a cannon right now. She's one of the MVPs. Uchida Maya, though, I think is coming up real quick. I think she's coming up. She's seeing what like Kayano Ai and Ayane Sakura is doing, and she's like, yo, I want in on that. She ain't really had a super success since like Chunibyo, and that was almost like 2013, 2014.
Who was she in that?
She was Rika.
Oh, was she?
Yeah, literally the main character.
Okay.
And like I said, in like Goblin Slayer, she was Guild Girl. So Guild Girl,
I mean, she
had fans. Yeah, she had fans, but not like Priestess or like.
And technically, in the
Swordman.
manga, she's the only one who has a date with Goblin Slayer.
It's true. This is true. Very true. And for some reason, I kept thinking Uchida Maya was in Fate and FGO, but I was like, no, that's the OG voice of Mashu, the one that got replaced. She got sick, and then they replaced her with Takahashi Rie.
There was somebody before her?
Yeah, there was somebody before. The same. The original voice of Mashu is Kiyohime and Matahari. Huh. That was the OG Mash, and then she got sick and got replaced by Megumin.
They didn't replace her for the other two.
No, because they were already recorded and locked and loaded. So, like, Summer Kiyohime was already recorded, so that was all done and over with.
And there hasn't really been anything else.
There's not like a Summer Matahari or anything, so. Yeah, but Uchida Maya is coming up, so she just got into FGO, and then at the same time got as Katarina in Villainess, so I think she's making a run for it now. So, yeah, I just shared that thing earlier today with Kayano Ai, so, yeah. And remember, she's married to Kirito, so, go figure. So, hey, Kimmy.
Uh-huh.
Are we, I'm going to ask you about Demon Slayer real quick. Any closing thoughts on Boku Hero? Because we're already off topic anyways.
Yeah.
I was about to say, I'm like, my cookies.
I mean, you could eat your cookies on the podcast.
Well, you have to drop them on the floor. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
I'm glad you can see my pouty face over here, but no, that would mean I will be eating my nice warm cookies in the closet.
Aw, closet cookies. Okay.
But closing thoughts, I'm looking forward to next season, watch the movies, and, the path of every person isn't a straight line.
Are you following the manga as well, or just the anime?
I'm not following the manga.
Okay.
So, I'm just anime.
Okay. Because you're a sane, normal person. You're not some degenerate that reads the manga. I'm kidding.
I mean, I'm not knocking on manga people. I just haven't read my manga like that in a while.
That's fine.
I've been hustling.
I feel you. I understand. I feel you. All right. And Roman, anything to say on the second revision of Boku Hero?
I don't know. I feel like if people can forgive Hank Pym for beating his wife, they can forgive Endeavor.
Oh!
He's not wrong. That's what's sad. That's what's jacked up, is he ain't wrong. It's just that what Roman just said, and you put it in the MCU perspective, that means that Michael Douglas was beaten on Michelle Pfeiffer. And wow, I didn't need that visual.
You got it.
Oh. Oh. I'm sorry, Kimmy. I lied to you. I said Roman only had one hot take. He actually had two. I apologize. That was on me. I accept responsibility for that. I did not prepare you for that, and I apologize.
You can make up for it with letting me go to have my cookies.
All right.
I want my cookies.
All right.
All right, get out of the closet. Go eat your cookies.
All right, then. All right, so then what? So yeah, well, that about does it for me. You guys, we can end this now. Kimmy can go eat her cookies.
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. We can do that.
Then. Alrighty then. So closing thoughts, Kimmy. What you got to say? What's on your mind?
Other than cookies.
Other than cookies. What's in closing? What are your cosplay plans? What are you thinking? What you got?
My plans are to make the most use of time on this quarantine by enabling my gaming, my movie catch up, and my cosplay. Since I have my own photo rig and whatnot, so I'm gonna do that. Have my own time because it doesn't look like quarantine time is gonna be ending. We're into week 6. We might be in 6 months later. Hold on tight to your butts, everyone.
And if you're doing updates and news, I know we're gonna definitely put these in the comment section, but where can people go check your stuff out one more time?
Sure. So last time I had a Patreon. I don't have a Patreon anymore, but you can still follow my shenanigans on Facebook at Kimihako Blade, and you can also follow the same tag at Kimihako Blade on Instagram. I usually just chat around and hang out and lurk. So yeah, you want to talk to me? Let me know. I'll chat with you and talk more about cookies.
All right, nice. Roman, any closing thoughts?
Nothing as hot as that last one, but not really. I mean, just looking forward to the rest of the season for what I'm watching.
Okay.
Can't wait to see Katarina take off, everybody and be the harem protag that she's destined to be. And I'm looking forward to what the Gourmet Guild has in store for me.
Gourmet Guild, all right. So he's going into that Princess Connect.
Yeah.
Real quick, what are the videos you're putting up this week? Reactions.
These what should be up tomorrow is Kaguya Princess Connect Redive episode 3. Tower of God. What was that? Oh, and Villainess.
Okay.
Those should be up tomorrow, and then I should be recording the rest of what I'm behind on.
Okay.
Soon.
Okay. All right. All right, so that about wraps it up. Roman and I have been discussing other projects as well, so definitely stay tuned to the channel. Check out Kimmy. Go follow her shenanigans. Go wish her the best of luck. Keep her encouraged, because she always needs motivation. So keep her motivated.
Send her cookies.
And send her cookies.
Yay! Thank you.
So, but yeah, that's it. Stay tuned to the channel. We got things coming down the pipes. Kimmy, thank you so much for hanging out with us. Stay safe.
Thank you for having me.
Yes.
Thank you.
All right. Roman, let's get out of here.
All right, so if you all enjoyed this, be sure to hit the like and subscribe button. That way you can keep getting notified on when these are uploaded.
Yes.
Also, be sure to comment about anything that you want to talk to us about that we discussed today.
Yes.
Maybe we'll talk about it on the beginning of the next podcast. Or something. You never know. And, yeah, just stay safe out there, and see you next time.
All right. Take it easy, guys.
Bye.